How's it going, folks? It's Jamie here, and today we're going to take a look at this Carvin Legacy 3, kind of off the cuff. Before I begin diving into this thing, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of what we're doing to this amp. If you looked at the description of the video, you might be able to tell that we're going through and we're going to retube and bias the amp. Now, in preparation of doing so, there's a few things I have done, and I think we should be pretty set. Let me share this to social media and we'll get going. Okay, so the first thing we're taking a look at is the bottom of the amp here. So the bottom of the amp shows us the circuit boards, it shows us the bottom of this side of the transformer, and the sockets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Connected to the new tubes that are already in place. We do have a Eurotubes.com. It's their Bias Pro 1, I believe it's called. But this goes between your tube and your amp. So it's like a little pancake that goes between your amp and the tube here. So yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea. Okay, so my girlfriend is here, interrupting my stream. However, that's fine. She brought this this guitar over. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's a Series 10. Yeah, these are really old and terrible guitars. So there's that, and then an LTD Kirk Hammett that my friend wants me to work on for him. She has fireworks. Everything is going wrong with this live stream. However, we're going to continue on. I need to warn my girlfriend not to knock anything over or shock herself. If she sees me get shocked, I mean, take that bass guitar or the neck and push me off of this. Do not touch me.
I'm fully aware of how.
Oh, okay. So, without further ado, let's plug this thing in, turn it on. There's a bit of a mathematical equation that we need to do here, which is it's the wattage rating of the tube, which per EL34 is 25 watts. Divided by the plate voltage, which this tool gives us, which is awesome because otherwise you need to probe around in here with a multimeter, and that's not very safe. So you take those two things and you multiply it by what your desired dissipation is. So I'm going to set mine relatively conservative, which is 0.65, so 65% dissipation with the tubes. And then that equals your milliamp something. I don't know too much about this. However, we're going to try to get this done. I do have some notes I wrote down. This is pretty much what I go by and I'm always successful with. So when I turn on the amp, I'm going to leave it on standby for 60 seconds. I'm going to temporarily set the bias to between 20 and 25 mAh. And then I'm going to calculate with the new plate voltage. After I do that, I'm going to adjust the bias to the calculated value. I'm going to let the tube sit here and cook for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to recheck my values and make sure everything is staying, it's not floating too far or my voltage is running away. You want it to be stable. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in a guitar. We're going to go through all 3 channels of this amplifier and see if it's working better than it was before. Now, you only really need to change your tubes every, I don't know, you can really get far on these things, but you might be able to see there's a brown ring on these. This amp was left on. It's not damaged in any way. It was left on overnight without a speaker load plugged in. So that's a huge no-no. It's probably why these tubes look this way. I haven't used this amp in a while. It looks like there was somebody poured Coca-Cola inside and left it upside down for a minute. And yeah, then they poured it out. So I've never seen that before, but they're still functional. I'll keep these around just to check different amps with. Always good to have spare tubes, even if they're not brand new. I'm sure these have a few hours left on them. But yeah, when your amp gets really spongy or it's not as responsive as it once was, it might be an indication that you need to change your tubes out. And that's kind of what's going on with this amp. I want to bring it back to life. So I went to eurotubes.com and placed an order for 4 matched EL34JJ electronic vacuum tubes. And they essentially look like this. I'll be able to show you what those look like and kind of the removal of this meter here. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's not wait any longer. See if I zap myself. I'm going to be using this long screwdriver. I put a piece of tape here so that when I'm adjusting this bias pot down here, the metal is not touching the chassis. So that's very important. Another good rule of thumb is not touching the chassis and, also touching the board. That's a really bad idea. There's a good rule of thumb is leave one hand in your pocket if you don't trust yourself. That will significantly lessen your chances of getting shocked because, you're pretty much going to only get shocked if you touch the wrong thing and ground yourself at the same time, which we're not going to do. Or we're not going to try to do that. We might do that, and then I might need to get shoved off of this amp. Let's plug it in and see if I blow something up. Okay, so it's plugged in. I have a fire extinguisher here. Could be handy, who knows? Okay, power on. Well, I'm going to make sure all my knobs are turned down first. That's one of my steps. This amp is kind of resting up against this cushion here. Okay, so I'm also going to change the amp to 8 ohms because that's what this cabinet is running. 8 ohms. Okay, so you can see the meter not doing anything yet. So it's probably when I take it off standby, that's when it's going to start to do stuff. So I'm going to start the timer. And we have about 50 seconds left. Tell me in the comments. Tell me about your day. What is that? What is this? Give this to me.
It's sour.
She is squeezing this out of a tube. Oh, it's really sour.
It doesn't have sugar. I got those for you.
Oh, this is terrible.
It's protein.
Oh, no, that's bad.
It's Greek yogurt.
It's not good. Why would you eat that?
I wanted to try it.
Don't ever try anything like that again.
Well, I brought you Pringles too, so.
What kind? Let me see.
Extra hot chili and lime.
Oh. I'm going to give you guys a review of these Pringles right now.
This is terrible. I'm surprised you ate that much of it.
10 out of 10. Would buy these. I suggest these if you like hot things. Oh my god, that's really hot. Oh, now I have the perfect excuse to use my eurotubes.com cup. How about that? That's a product placement right there.
Let me try one.
Here you go.
Break them all.
Okay, so I'm going to take the amp off standby. All right. Plate voltage at 464. That's about normal. Perfect. And we're actually really low on the bias. That's pretty good right there, though. 20. That's really cold. They are good. Can you guys see that?
my screen.
All right, it's rocking at about 21.5, 21.6. It's not running away on me. This is very normal. Plate voltage 469. So this is what gives me my required calculation. So I'm going to take my calculator, which is a phone, 25 divided by the plate voltage. So I'm going to go with 470 equals 0.05319,149. So you round in this case. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.65. So I should be, with this amplifier, at 0.034. I need to get this number to 0.034. So I'm looking for turning this clockwise a little bit. Let's do that. And this is the part that I can't shock myself. All right, so we're currently at 27. It's creeping up. 27.8. Plate voltage dropped a little bit, if you noticed. All right, we're at 35. I need to back this down a hair. That's really close. But now we have a new plate voltage. So that's why I said here in my note, after adjusting, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes and then recheck the values, because I'm going to need to do a new calculation. Before it was 470. So this might be a little bit higher or lower. I'm not sure how that works, but the calculator will tell me what I need to do. So in the meantime, while I let this cook here for about 10 minutes, hoping that there's some comments in the comment section that I can try to answer for you guys. I'm not a guru on this stuff, but I do know my way around it. It's not very difficult with this amplifier. The benefit of working with a circuit like this is that it only has a bias pot. There are 4 power tubes. However, you don't need to set the balance. I can basically just meter one side, and then from there, I have my bias setting. Whereas like the Black Stars I use, they have a bias adjustment for how hot it is, and then a balance between both sides of the power section. So that's a little bit more, involved, but let's look here. Paul said, Jamie, I love you. That was a gift to you from me. Are you talking about the Series 10? Oh my God. Look at the angle on this strap button. Oh my God, Paul. Oh no. What am I gonna do with this, man?
Destroy it. That's the one I was talking about.
You want me to destroy this?
That's the one he was talking about.
Oh.
Get your thought of it about like hitting a guitar.
I don't know if I want to destroy this.
Well, we fix it up. Make it a work in progress. Rainy day project.
It's 80s. Series 10. I had a buddy that passed away, and there was a Series 10 Strat style guitar, but it was green underneath and then a crackle finish on top, and I still have it. It's hanging up in the pole barn.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but this is a very Jackson style neck. A lot of these Chinese or Korean manufacturers were basically just copying each other at the time. Paul, what's the story behind this one?
I can clean it while you're doing that if you want.
Clean this?
Yeah.
No.
Fine.
Doesn't need to be cleaned.
No, not at all.
Needs to be ripped apart. So give me a thumbs up if you want me to smash that. Smash the thumbs up button if you want me to smash the Series 10 on stage.
Well, I already liked it, so.
Yeah, see, our plate voltage is now dipping down to 458. Oh, our plate voltage is very high right now. Plate current, I meant. Our plate volts went back up when I turned that back down. So this is kind of the process, guys. It's a lot harder when you have to use a multimeter, and it's a lot more dangerous. Whereas this is just kind of hooked up in between the tube and the amp itself. I can move this around and, do whatever I need to do and watch both of these things at the same time. Unfortunately for me, I have to also watch my laptop and my phone and my girlfriend that's making fun of me in the background.
Yeah, totally making fun of you.
You are.
You enjoy these pictures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can see when I'm handling the screwdriver, I'm not touching the metal at all. It's very important. Wow, this is the most interesting live stream ever. Babe, talk. Do something. How was your day, babe?
I avoided golfing. like the plague.
Why?
I didn't feel like killing somebody with a golf club accidentally. Just kidding, I can golf really well.
Darren, what's up, buddy? You get to finally see the bias process.
About time. Did it just make a noise?
Yeah, it is. My cell phone.
Oh, yeah. I forgot it does that.
Yeah. When you put an amp, cell phone by an amp, it can do that. What is that?
A yogurt that actually tastes good.
What kind?
Samoa cookie.
Can I try it?
If you get me a spoon, I'm kidding.
Can I just pour this into my amp?
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Oh my god.
You know how well I just tricked you into eating coconut?
Why? Take it back.
You like it.
I feel the crunchies now.
Oh, you're a little kid when it comes to food, I swear.
No.
Yes. You like it. It is really good, though.
Looks like we have some runaway voltage here. Trying to remember what to do.
That Ludacris song just popped in my head. Runaway Love. These are disgusting. I had so much hope for this.
Yeah, that was gross.
It's because it's Greek yogurt. More sour than typical. I even got you one, but I know you don't want it.
Yeah, I do not like.
Maybe if I threw in real fruit and like blended it, it'd be fine. But
How about no?
it has 7 active cultures in it.
I don't know what that means.
Bacteria, living bacteria.
Really?
Yes, that's how yogurt is made.
All
All yogurt is made like
I'm gonna sick.
You're gonna sick.
Yeah. Get these keys away from me. You're trying to shock me? Look at what she brought. Oh my god.
Those are Paul.
Paul?
Yes. That was part of your payment.
This?
Yeah. From Paul.
For working on his guitar? We could talk about that a little bit.
Those are like what Ken was shooting off. The 5 shots. I think you shot a couple off with him. Your dad was checking out the car when I got here. You scared me. What does he want done to it?
He has 2 lower saddles. Paul, the only thing with these saddles is they're just in the wrong spots. They're matching saddles, they're just in the wrong spot. Because whoever put this Floyd back together was an idiot. Basically.
What if it was
Paul, Paul, if you did this, I'm sorry.
Now you said somebody else.
Yeah, I know. He told me it was somebody else.
Is she fun fireworks?
I'm just watching this meter.
today.
I know, it's like 75 degrees or something.
I like how you thought I was talking about the deck earlier.
Well, before I do that, I'm going to recalculate.
Calculating.
So the calculation again is 25 divided by plate voltage, which is 465 equals, we came out to 0.053 times 0.65 for my dissipation, 0.34. I'm still in the alley. I'm going to back this down. All right. So that's very close. I'm going to throw this thing on standby. Power it off. I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to flip it over, which I need my lovely assistant for.
Excuse me, I emptied my lap of food. What am I doing?
Okay, so I need you to move this meter.
What?
Move the meter. No, the meter.
Okay.
Yes. Don't pull.
I'm not. I'm keeping the cord up.
You can set that on the bed. Do not touch under the amp, or else you will die.
Just grab me the box.
Huh? What?
I said I grabbed the box.
Box. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug the amp back in.
Butter smooth wax.
What are you talking about?
The wax on the floor.
It is butter smooth.
It looks like popcorn butter.
It's car wax, which I also use for polishing. Alright, I'm going to take my little cable here. My meter is still plugged in, so I'll let you see that. Here's that for you. And then I need a guitar. And I need a guitar pick, which is right here. So far, so good. All right, folks. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to let these tubes wear in and let these tubes wear in a little bit, and then I'm going to attempt to reset the bias on this. It is wandering a little bit, but at least it's not running away high. It's actually going lower now, which for me is a good thing. It means that I didn't break anything. Tubes literally just need to break in a little bit and then set it to its final bias. But hopefully this was a little bit informative, if not getting it right away. At least now you know the calculation where you can go and actually do this by yourself if you get this tool, which this is about 110 bucks, worth its weight in gold if you want to work on amps yourself. Just make sure you're using safety precautions like, I mean, I have a freaking fire extinguisher right here just in case anything were to go wrong or start to melt. So there's that. Also, don't touch anything. Don't be an idiot, and you'll be pretty fine. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not an amp technician. I've just done this a few times, and hopefully it's informative to you. So there's that for you. Again, if you want to see this, take a screenshot of that. And be on your merry way. Thanks for watching today, guys, and I will see you later. Cheers.